At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. It's more than a fuel station, more than a convenience store. It's your one-stop travel shop on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion, and Yankton. And we are talking some Avon Pirates softball as we get ready for the state tournament. And if you're a business and you'd like to sponsor these interviews, give me a call, 605-661-5858. I'd talk about you now. I'd talk about you at the end, and we'd even run an ad for you. But in the meantime, we're just going to talk to Abby Gretschman. Abby, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, I am better than I deserve. I love talking sports, and you're taking the time to talk with me, so I'm feeling blessed. And I tell you what, let's have you talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about you, your family, hobbies, interests, anything like that, and we'll just roll from there.
Sure. So I'm Abby Gretschman. I just graduated with honors from Avon, South Dakota. I have two older sisters, and then I live with my mom and dad. I play volleyball, basketball, softball, track, and then I'm involved in various other clubs and activities at the school.
So what are some of those other activities? Because if you're graduating with honors and you're in sports, I have to figure you're in some other cool stuff.
Yeah. So I'm in National Honor Society. I was part of student council. I did oral interp drama. I was a football stat and a boys basketball stat. And I think that covers it.
All right. So now oral interp. What is oral interp exactly?
I describe it as kind of like a one-man play where you perform for 10 minutes, and it's really good for public speaking. You get to perform in front of an audience and a couple of judges, and they can critique you on like your tone and stuff like that.
So do you have a set topic that you talk about throughout the season? Do you get, because I was in a thing in speech called extemporaneous speaking, where we drew a subject and we had X amount of time to write a 5-minute speech. Oral interp, do you get a subject at the beginning of the year? Do you get to kind of talk about whatever you'd like? How does that work?
So there are a couple of different categories. The max you can be in when you go to state was 3 events. So I've been to state for the past 3 years, and I was involved in serious, duet, and readers theater this last year. And at the beginning of the year, you get to pick whatever category you want, and then you pick a script that could fall into that category, and then you have the entire season to learn it. And very often at the beginning of the season, a lot of judges will let you use your script as you're first learning it.
Okay.
So it's actually, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's a really fun opportunity, and going to state for the past 3 years, like even looking back at my freshman year, it was a lot different than what it is now. I feel more confident, and I went to state in 3 pieces this year, which is a huge leap.
Well, and how do you feel like that's prepared you? So, you said you're a senior. What are you looking to do now that you're out of high school? Where is the world taking you?
So I was between 2 options for a very long time, either being a chemistry teacher, like high school level, or being medical laboratory science. So I'd work in a laboratory in like a clinic or a hospital. So I finally made my decision. I'll go out to Vermilion for med lab science.
All right. Excellent. And so you'll be going to USD in the fall?
Yep.
All right. Excellent. And would you like to stay around here? Do you want to try to go to a bigger city? Where is that going to take you, do you think?
I think I plan to stay around. The ideal is to stay around Avon and maybe work in Yankton, but I just have to see where my cards take me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, got to go where jobs are anyhow. But yeah, if you could work in Yankton and live in Avon or around the area, that is awesome. So do you and your family live in Avon, or do you live outside of town?
We live in town, yep.
Okay, excellent. And, of course, Avon, I mean, the home of one of the most famous South Dakotans, the hometown of George McGovern. So, I mean, Avon's always got a place in everybody's heart that way. So cool. Now, what has it been like to be a part of Avon athletics and activities? Because Avon is one of those, it's still a standalone school, which is kind of rare There's no hyphens, no slashes. It's Avon. And so you guys represent the town, and the town has to, I'm understanding, would support you, and you guys have had a lot of success in a variety of avenues. What has it been like being an Avon Pirate?
I've been really blessed because being in a small-knit community, everybody knows everybody. Everybody looks out for each other. You know, I've said this before, but when you step into the school, you look around, and you just think everybody here is an Avon Pirate. We're all one big family. And I think that really has to do in the school aspect with the coaches and teachers. They're very, not forthcoming, but very accepting of everybody and everybody's differences, and it feels really nice.
All right. And now, obviously, with everything that you did between honors, athletics, so honors in academics, honors in athletics, and the arts with drama, oral interp, all of that, each one of those seems to maybe scratch a different itch. At least they do for me. I'm into the arts a lot. I'm in theater and singing and things, and I like studying all of that. But do you find a certain crossover in how some benefit you in other ways, like you utilizing things you found in sports that you're like, oh, yeah, I apply it to this? Do you find some of that, or do you find them very, very separate?
Well, drama really gives me more, like back in freshman year, I was really shy and I didn't really want to speak up much in class, not voice my opinion. But especially now after being in one act, going to state for that, and going to state on oral interp, I find myself finding my voice more in class, voicing my questions, any problems I have. So I think that really helps in the academic. And I think sports gives me more determination, contains my focus with studying, and it gives a nice outlet for any frustrations I might have.
Well, I can totally understand that. And obviously, if you're going into med lab sciences, you have to have done pretty well. What was your favorite subject in school? I mean, if you were thinking about being a chemistry teacher, I have to think science or chemistry was ranking up there. But what was your favorite subject?
It was chemistry, but math was also pretty high up there.
Man, you Avon kids and your math, you guys seem to love that for some reason. I was fine with math. I was okay at it. It wasn't a struggle, but I didn't love it. I gravitated towards, history and government and stuff. What was it about math that put it up there as well?
Well, I'm a little bit biased. My mom is our math teacher, Mrs. Gretschman.
First name Connie, right?
Yep.
Because she got a shout out on a previous interview I just did today. So that's how I kind of figured. So that's where we're leading with this. So we'll talk about your mom a little bit, then why you're a little biased.
Well, she's an amazing teacher, and a lot of people will joke about it that I can just ask her questions when I'm at home. But she really tries to make that line where she's a teacher in the classroom, but she's still my mom at home. And I just really enjoy that part of it. And then she definitely lets me get away with a couple of stuff in her classroom that I shouldn't. It's okay.
It is okay. Oh, go ahead.
Math and chemistry, they have like strict rules. Like 2 + 2 is always going to equal 4. And I find that very, not comforting, but like there's a certain structure to it compared to English where it's like, this is a verb, but it could also be an adverb. Oh, I just like having a little structure, strictness.
I totally understand that because there's the technical way that you're supposed to write or speak. It isn't always the way that sounds the best to the ear. And I'm like, okay, if this sounds right to my ear, shouldn't we just say that this is the best way to say it? Well, that leaves your dangling participle, and you're now technically ending with an adjective or an adverb. And I'm like, no, if it sounds right, it should be right. But that's just the way I am. So no, English was not, I love reading and I love writing and speaking, but there's the technical aspect that seems very fluid. And I think it's from the obviously the amalgamation of languages and stuff like that. So no, I totally understand what you're saying. There are very absolutes that if you do this in math, it's going to be this, and you're eventually using it to find other solutions. But no, I like that. All right. Well, probably talked more math and science than you were expecting, but I enjoyed it. But you okay answering a few icebreakers before we talk some softball?
Sure.
All right. One final meal. What would you have?
I think I would have. My mom makes a really good stromboli.
Ooh, that sounds really good. So, what does she do that makes it so special, do you think?
Well, she's the first person to introduce me to it. Every time I say stromboli, not many people know what I'm talking about. It's like pizza that's rolled and there's cheese, and I put pepperoni in the middle because I'm a little bit picky. So I just have cheese and pepperoni on, and it's really good.
Oh yeah, no, I've always viewed it I've always been a calzone fan, and I kind of always viewed it in that same realm as a calzone, but it's so good, wrapped like that. So no, I think that sounds amazing. So all right, would you have dessert?
Oh yeah, I think I would have. Oh gosh, I think I would go with chocolate chip pancakes with chocolate syrup.
Oh, all right, that sounds amazing. I mean, if it's going to be a last meal, it might as well be a good one, right?
I know, I'm a real chocolate lover, so
Well, that is good. The chocolate chip pancakes, chocolate syrup. I think that sounds amazing. All right, we're off to a good start. Now, you could see any three musical artists live in concert from throughout history, so living or dead. Who would you want to see?
my first one would definitely be, I think, Olivia Rodrigo. She's been my top five artists for the past 3 years.
Okay.
And then I would think Lord would be my second one. She was my number one artist and my sister's number one artist this year.
Okay.
She got a special place in my heart. And then I think my last one would have to be probably Kesha.
Oh, Kesha. Okay. All right. That sounds cool. So, Kesha, what is it about her? Because I know, it's been a little while since she was really, really out there and on top of it. What's about Kesha that holds appeal for you?
Well, 2010 is a very nostalgic time. I was still really young, so like all the music still has a special place in my heart. And I just love Kesha's personality, her music, upbeat. I usually listen to them before a game a couple of times. They're definitely on some of my playlists. Um,
All right. Well, perfect. So, I mean, again, three great artists there. Love that. Now, if you could travel back one time to any point in the Earth's history and you're guaranteed safe return, to when would you want to travel and why?
um, I think I have two options. One would be around caveman time because a lot of history is lost during that time. There's a lot of years unaccounted for. And I think it'd be really cool to go back and just see what we don't have history of. And then my second option would definitely have to be um, the little feminist of me, but women's suffrage during that movement time because I just think it's so cool how they put their lives on the line for women's right to vote, and I think it'd be really interesting to go back and have a talk with them.
All right. I like that. Now, do you know what was the first presidential election that women could vote? Do you remember from history?
I know they got their right to vote in 1920s, so
Yep.
1928.
Now, I think it was the 1920 election. I could be wrong, but I thought it was the 1920 election where they could at least start voting, because I know Warren Harding and this whole group had to organize for that, but it might not have been nationwide at that point. So I was just saying, so I think you'd be right around the 20s there. So I think that'd be a fun time, the roaring 20s plus, yeah, women's right to vote, the women's suffrage movement. And no, that would be awesome. I like that. See, yeah, two very, very good answers. I like that. Now, finally, if you were on a 12-hour flight and you could pick the one celebrity or famous person to sit next to, who would you want it to be?
I think I'll go with probably Billie Eilish.
All right. What is it about Billie Eilish?
She just seems like a very fun person to be around, and from what I've seen, her personality is very energetic, and I think she'd be fun to be around, and I'd love to learn a lot more about her. She's not very much of a media person, so I think it'd be cool to learn about her.
All right. Excellent. And then finally, as you go through life, this can be a celebrity, this can be somebody close to home, but as you go through life, who is someone or are some people that you hold up as an example and say, if I can live life like her or him, I'm going to consider myself a success?
I think definitely my mom. Definitely her for sure. She's, my rock. She is one of my biggest supporters. She comes to all my games. I don't think maybe she's missed one out of my entire high school career. She has 3 kids that she still balances really well. My middle sister, she's out in Colorado, and my mom still tries to make time with her, FaceTimes her, sends her pictures, texts her good morning. And my other sister just bought a house, and she went over there, bought her a housewarming gift, helped her move in. She balances schoolwork, all my activities, and our personal life so well. And she just has this connection with kids. Like, she helps kids find out. I've heard so many people tell me that my mom is one of their favorite teachers and that she's helped them so much. And I just have that sense of pride. Like, that's my mom. That's the woman who raised me.
All right. I like that answer, and you had some good foundation there. Perfect. All right. Well, you did great on the icebreakers. You've done great so far. You okay if we wrap up just talking some softball?
Absolutely.
All right. So you guys are heading to state where you guys made it last year, and I know you talking to coach, it was kind of like, oh, this is a little bit of a surprise, maybe happy to be there. This year, was this a goal, getting back to state and maybe trying to make some noise while you're there?
Absolutely. Cadence Metzger, she made our slogan for this year, Why Not Us? And I think that was really the driving force. Why couldn't we be the team to go there? Why couldn't we place? We did lose Macy, our starting pitcher, but Cadence has done such a good job throughout the school year, and she's really stepped up to the plate. And I think it shows that we want to be there. We have the drive to be at state. We want to make waves there.
All right. And, all season long, you guys have been successful. Obviously, dropped some games that maybe you didn't want to, but you've been able to turn those around. I think Castlewood's the greatest example. It might have been 2 losses, but going from a 14-0 shutout to a 4-3 full game, making them go to the wire, is that turnaround. Scotland Menno obviously lost a barn burner to them earlier in the season, then to turn around and beat them for that to make that state appearance. Otherwise, other losses are to really good Class A teams. Feels like you guys are able to compete with just about anybody. Do you guys have that mentality heading into this?
Oh, absolutely. We said that losing to Castlewood was enough times. 3rd time's the charm. If we meet them in state, we're winning this. And I think that's really a good mentality to have, that we may have lost to some teams, but that doesn't mean we have to lose to them again. We are absolutely capable of playing with anybody we meet. And I think that's really important to our mentality and going out on the field and having that, for lack of a better words, mentality out on the field that we can do this no matter what.
All right. And let me ask you this. We talked about being an Avon Pirate. Now that you've graduated, put yourself 10, 15 years into the future, and your name comes up. What would you like to be said about you? And it doesn't have to be sports related, because you have so many different things going on. But what would you hope people would say about you and your time in Avon?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think that I would want people to remember me for my personality and how helpful I was to different people, how energetic I was, how kind I can be. Especially in drama, we had a lot of new kids this year, and I was one of the lead roles in it. And it really helped to just give advice on, hey, it's okay if you don't remember your lines, just take your time, giving advice on how you can learn your lines. And in volleyball, I was a senior. I had big shoes to fill this year. And just helping different freshmen who didn't know the drills we were doing, just walking them through it, teaching them how to do it. And we had a foreign exchange student this year. And I really want her to know that she was such a kind person, and I would help her get her hands right. It's just one of those things where I want people to remember me for my actions and my words.
Well, I think that's a great way to be remembered. Well, Abby, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to follow you guys and see how you guys do and follow your success. But thank you so much. This has been a fun conversation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your success and at USD and seeing how things go for you. But thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too, and thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. That was Abby Gretschman of the Avon Pirates, and her mom getting a second appearance. I guess depends on when this airs, but we got a shout out for somebody that she made math fun. So, great teachers deserves some shout outs. So, shout out to Connie Gretschman. All right. Well, these Avon Pirate Conversations, if you want to be a sponsor of them, just give me a call, 605-661-5858. I'd be talking to you now, talking about you now, not talking to you, but talking about you right now, and we would be playing an ad for you right after. So just give me a call. I'll be reaching out, but if you reach out to me first, I can give you a little bit of a deal. All right, we'll be back with more. This is At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, brought to you by JR's Oasis. More than a fuel station, more than a convenience store. It's your one-stop travel shop on Fox Sports Radio, 101.5 FM, 1570 AM, KVTK, Vermilion, and Yankton.